Okay, Navajo Nation election season is here, and you are watching Navajo Tea Time with Adrienne and Kelsey. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kelsey.
Hi. Yeah, you know me. Just kidding. Okay.
So one thing I really dislike about election season, I was talking to Adrienne earlier about it, is, you know, like everyone, they put up their sign, they're like, vote for me, vote for change, vote for future, vote for tradition, and everything. And then after election season, they leave it behind.
I know.
They just leave it littered all over the highway, all over. It's like, can you guys at least come by and pick it up? I want to make a list of all the people who leave it behind, and then
and then blast them on social media. Ew.
It's just so annoying because it'd be months after elections have gone, and then your sign is still up. It's like, pick up your trash, please.
I know, and it doesn't even matter if you won or you lost. It's like, just
pick up your trash.
Pick up your trash. You know, the election is over. Make space for other people, and I don't know. It's just, I don't like it either. That's
the one thing I don't like about election season. So, candidates, if you're listening to Navajo Tea Time, pick up your trash, or I'll make a note of it.
I don't like how they take over all the parades, and they're not really. I don't know. Some of them aren't even speaking. I wish if every candidate were going to attend a parade, I wish they would have a microphone and really use that time to speak to the people, as opposed to just smiling or doing a photo op or throwing candy. You know what I mean? Be productive with your time. Because some of us, we really want to know what you want to say. We want to know what you're all about. You know what I mean? We don't want to just look at you, in your... I don't know. I know some of them, they really like their horses, and they're just looking good, and I'm just like, okay, can we have some substance here? That's all I ask.
It's too much. You're asking too much, Adrienne.
Oh, gosh. I know. Story of my life. Ew.
Yeah, but those are just some nitpicky things about, any election season.
We kind of got to get it off our chest first, because this is Navajo Tea Time, and that's the tea.
Pick up your trash.
Pick up your freaking trash. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. You should.
All right,
So, question for Kelsey. Who is the most visible candidate in your opinion, and the least visible? So the most visible, the least visible in your opinion.
Okay, so the first sign that came up, it was Nez for Prez.
Oh.
That was the first signs that showed up around Cameron. The biggest sign is I can't say his name. I can see the way it's spelt. N-U-U-Y.
Oh, Nigrin.
Yeah. Him. He has the biggest sign in Cameron.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a couple littered around his sign. So those are the two people at the moment. Well,
the most visible.
Nez Perez was the first one, and then you can say his name. We'll show it here.
Well, his name is Boo. It's super easy.
Boo?
Boo. Yeah.
Okay.
Boo Van Nigrin.
I don't know. I see the name, and it trips me up on how to pronounce it. Boo Nigrin. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually saw Boo's signs first. I think he was first at the gate, the first person to let the world know that he was going to run this season. So, and honestly, I see them everywhere. You know what I mean? His signs are everywhere. On social media, the people I see the most are probably Ethel Branch and Jaralyn Nez. But only because I think I see them the most because I'm actually, I like their pages. I pretty much liked all of the candidates' campaign pages, but because I follow, is it Navajo Nation OPVP, their official page?
Yeah, the Navajo Nation President's Office page. Yeah. Of course,
so
you see their posts.
Yeah, I see it all the time. And then I also follow the Navajo Hopi Family COVID Relief Fund page too. Okay. And Ethel, she started that whole group, and she's also I think she's the executive director and the co-founder, but I think because of that I see them all the time. The others not so much. I'm actually seeing more I've been seeing a lot of Justin Jones's stuff. He's been putting out a lot of really cool videos that are getting a lot of attention because he puts them out in Navajo and English.
Okay.
So it's really cool, yeah. And he's the only person I've seen do that.
Okay.
So I think they're the most visible.
For me on social media, Ethel Branch. I see hers most, and obviously Navajo Nation President Nez. And just a disclaimer, I did a quick photo op for her that she paid me to do for her, so that's why I liked her page, because, you know, she paid me to do a job. And just that disclaimer out there, so you know my bias. She paid me to do something.
And you did great.
Thank you.
You did great. The photos are beautiful. Go to Instagram. Oh yeah, you're actually tagged, huh? On the photos. Yeah. That's cool. So how about the least visible?
I can't tell you the least
I
visible
can't even
because
remember
I can't see
their
them.
name. I gotta. Okay, so did you watch the last forum?
I don't watch any forums.
Okay, I watched the last one, and then after the forum, there's this kid on TikTok.
You mentioned him in your thing, and we could probably like share it on our social media, the links and everything.
Yeah. And in the TikTok, there's a point where he says, I forgot you were even there. And that's the person who's the least visible to me, because I was like, oh, I forgot she was there too, which is really sad. Like, I can't even, like, it's like I can't even see her face or memorize her name, but it's a female candidate, and she did not leave any kind of impression on me at all.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like her responses didn't incite anything in me that I liked or didn't like. And I really did forget she was there. All of the other candidates, they left some sort of impression. You know what I mean? Either
good or bad, there was something.
Yeah, there was something to remember them by. So, but yeah, that kid on TikTok's funny. Like, he did a really cool wrap up of the.
We'll definitely leave a
forum.
link below. Maybe
Yeah.
we should have him on so you and him can talk about something instead of me just going, okay.
The next question is, oh, well, I don't know if this would even apply to you because if you haven't been watching, but it says, do you trust a candidate yet? Do you believe what any candidate is saying?
I never believe anything anyone is saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like, sure, you can promise me the world, you can promise me change and everything, and they say these things, and something like, if I have an opportunity to ask someone, you know, I'd be like, well, what's your plan?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want to bring tradition back. It's like, okay, how are you going to do that? Or like, oh, I want to bring the Navajo Nation to the forefront of the economy, and it's like, okay, how?
Yeah.
What's your step-by-step plan? What's your, you know, me planning? You guys saw the video. We had that was like the longest video ever. It took all the batteries.
Yeah.
It's like, what's your milestones? What are your goal points? What are your action steps? How are you going to do that?
Yeah. And then I think following that too is like, what have you done already? I think that's a really big thing to look at, is not just what they're saying they're going to do, but what they've done already. What actions are they already taking before they're even taking office? You know what I mean? What have they done? And then also, like, I really do believe in, like, practice what you preach. And so when the candidates are saying, you know, they're talking about their platform points, or I guess going off their wish list, like, these are my hopes and dreams and this is what I want to do. It's also, I also look at, okay, what, like, do you practice what you preach? If you say these are your values and this is what you're going to do, is there any kind of continuity with what you're saying and what you actually do? You know what I mean? Is there any overlap? Because if there's overlap, then that's a good sign. If there is no overlap, it's kind of like, I think you're just telling us what you think we want to hear. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty skeptical too, actually, of people running for office. And this isn't just Navajo Nation. This is like
all offices
all
everywhere.
Yeah, state, national. It's kind of like, okay, let's see what you have. Let's see what your actions say, you know, because actions speak louder than words.
So in my mind, most elections are kind of like Invader Zim election, like the school election. You know, where like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys watch Invader Zim. I do. I still do. I have like the DVD box set. But anyways, so there's like this school election, like trying to like, you know, be the class president, and they're like, just promise them anything, just promise them anything. So they're just promising them everything and everything. They have like the little happy signs, meters going up, and then you win the election, and then like the school comes in and they like take out the kid's brain and make it like perfect student, whatever the school administration wants, student brain.
That's really dark.
Have you seen Invader Zim?
Yeah. I
love
used to
that
read,
show.
I know, I used to read, is it, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Johann Vasquez, the creator of Invader Zim?
I don't know.
So I used
I'm really
to,
bad at like credits because I can't read that fast.
He used to be like one of my favorite comic book artists, but I used to always wonder like how to say his name because I think it's spelled Jhon.
Is it a German pronunciation?
I don't even know.
Because then it would be a Johann.
Yeah, I think it's Johann Vasquez, and he did like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and then Invader Zim, and I used to read all of those. I used to have a whole collection, like all the comic books, and then on Netflix, Invader Zim is on there now too.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but I have
cool.
the DVD box set because
Cool, cool.
the internet's gonna go down one day.
God, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be all right. So I think another thing related to what you're saying about the candidacy, I think one thing I also look at is competency. Like, does the person have what it takes to follow through with what they're saying? Like, do they have the experience? Do they have the knowledge? Do they have the education? Do they have what it takes to actually make what they're saying a reality?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing, because I think some people, they say, I'm going to do A, B, or C, but they obviously don't understand what they're talking about. Like, when people talk about the economy, a lot of people say, I'm going to bring jobs, I'm going to do A, B, or C, and then it's like, okay, how, right? How? And they don't understand how economics work, and it's so obvious, and I'm like, dang, this person does not know what they're talking about. Or some people talk about sovereignty, and they obviously don't understand what that truly means in the context of our relationship to the federal government, even to the state, and then within our own tribe, in our own tribal government. It's like they obviously don't understand what that means, but they really love that word because it's a powerful word, and they know it riles the natives up. You know what I mean?
I mean, like,
So-
I always go back to, like, that James and Ernie comedies sketch.
Which one?
And they're like, because in middle school, they used to have, what are they called? They're not auditors, blah, 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 blah.
I hope I'm not sweaty. Oh, like...
As my brain goes dead.
I know.
Where they bring everyone to, like, the auditorium and they make them, like, watch whatever. Like, they had, like, James and Ernie come, like, 2 or 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, yes, everyone's so sovereign. You're sovereign over here, and you're sovereign over there. I'm like, yeah, I'm sovereign. It's lunchtime.
You said that?
No, the comedians did.
Oh, I get it. That's funny.
Because they're like, the delegates and everyone, they like to throw the word sovereign around, but no one knows what it means, and they just think you're pronouncing starving wrong.
Oh, you're starving. You're sovereign. Got it. That's funny. Dang, I'm old school. You know what comedian came to my school?
Who?
Vincent Craig. And I was there, and I was laughing, and it was awesome, and he performed Rita, and I was like, yes.
So, you were talking, I don't remember if it was in one of the hot tea, whatever, and you were saying how you got married, and then 9/11 happened. I was like, I was in 5th grade.
I know. I know.
You're so much older than me.
I know. Oh my god, I am.
Anyway.
Let's not talk about it. Ew. Just kidding.
So you were like, I don't know, college watching Invader Zim. I was in middle school watching Invader Zim.
Yep. That's how it was. And I'm all like, I read the comic books. And
Oh, there's a comic book?
That is so funny. Oh gosh.
She's gonna be like,
Okay.
and I went to Star Wars movie theater, the first original 3.
I mean,
you're not that old.
we had the original run too of all the Star Wars toys.
Really?
Yeah, like I remember my cousins had them, and I didn't have them personally because I wasn't really. I used to think Star Wars was boring. There was so much dialogue, and I'm just like, this is so freaking boring. Like for a big majority of my life, I only watched cartoons.
I mean, like, my dad bought them on VHS when we were little, so we watched them, and then my
I
uncle.
hated it. The only movie I liked where there were people, like, acting was Top Gun.
I've never even watched. I don't
Are you
like.
serious?
I don't like war movies. I don't like sports movies.
Oh my
I don't
God.
like where there's like a big like, oh, I'm the big guy on campus type of feel. I'm just like,
Really?
I like horror and I like fantasy. Like my favorite movie ever is Merlin, and it's like a it's a 3-part mini series.
Oh my God, like
And
the
so
nerd alert went
so
off.
it's 6 hours long.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm all about it. Like, me and my son are all about it, too. It's cool to have an ally in that.
Okay, Navajo Nation election.
It's so much more fun to talk about Lord of the Rings. Anyways, my favorite movie of all time is The Godfather.
The Godfather?
Yeah, I freaking love that. Like, the whole trilogy. And even the new director's cut that came out of the third movie, that's really good too. It's way better than the first one.
Yeah, but I just can't get behind like movies like Top Gun. They don't appeal to me.
You should watch it though, the first one, not the. There's this volleyball scene. It is so good.
Okay.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Well, like you're so old.
Shut up! Okay, we're gonna get back. Oh my God. Gross, as I cackle. Yada la. Okay.
Anyways.
I don't want to talk anymore. I'm leaving. Just kidding.
That was one thing that was actually suggested. Like one of the comments recently on one of my old like midnight Navajo Tea Time that we did during the beginning of COVID was like, do movie reviews.
We should. That's fun. Y'all, elections are boring. Just kidding. Politics are boring. No. Okay, actually, this is why we brought it up. So, you hear what our gripes are, what we do not like, what we like, what's enjoyable, what we look for in a candidate, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what we want to do with this episode is ask you, our viewers, who you would like us to bring on to Navajo Tea Time. Because I think it would be really fun. And I think we can both offer different perspectives because I'm an elder millennial, and what are you? Like
I'm like mid-millennial. I'm like right in the center millennial.
With an elder and with an elder present. No, I think we speak to different demographics, but we also speak to a very interesting group of people that I think care about this election. You know what I mean? Because it affects us directly, you know, as parents, as business owners, but just as people that want to live here and build here. You know, like we have our home site lease questions. We have, you know, like really things that we've been griping about on Navajo Tea Time. We could easily throw a bunch of questions at them and have a conversation, but in a fun way, over tea, you know, as opposed to like...
No, we're going to throw it at them. I'm going to pelt them with questions.
So yeah, you know, so anyways, let us know who you would like us to bring on. We'll reach out to them. And then I wanted to extend an invitation to, with your permission, with maybe some people who are running for council, because we have people running for council, and there's an individual who's running for council that's going to oversee Cameron area. His name's Casey Johnson, and he's running against the incumbent. I forgot his name.
Thomas Walker?
Yes.
I know him.
Yeah.
He's my council delegate.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's the council delegate currently sitting, and this other opponent is the only opponent.
Okay.
This race. So I think that would be interesting. But if any other people running for council, because there's like, what, 2 or 3 former Miss Navajos running for council.
Really? That's cool.
And then our previous director of economic development, JT Willie, he's running too for council for his area. So I'm excited. There's a lot of new blood, I guess. That's why I'm excited. Like a youthful injection of ideas and creativity and energy, I think is going to benefit the nation as a whole, especially when it comes to like passing legislation and negotiating with the state and the federal government and holding them accountable. Like, we need energy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big job.
Yeah,
So,
it'd be nice to, like, talk
Yeah.
to them.
I think it'd be cool. So that's why we're asking you, who should we bring on? Because we will definitely extend invitations to them. So
Or, post questions that you would like to ask
Yes.
these presidents. Like,
Yeah.
if we get the people on,
hmm
what questions would you want us to ask them?
like hot tea questions too, not just the basic
What
like
lowball questions that you hear them answer over
Mhm.
the parade intercom.
or the ones people might be avoiding too. You know what I mean? Because I know that some people may be avoiding to answer certain questions. So I think if we can come up with a nice list of good questions that haven't been asked yet, because there are multiple groups that have already done interviews with candidates. Like there's I think Eugenia Charles Newton, who's a current council delegate, she did a few interviews on her Facebook Live. There's a woman named, I think her name is Aline Bitsui, I think. She also invited a few people running for president to come on to her platforms, her social media platforms, and have a conversation. There's another group called, I think it's called Our Nation, it's Ron Begay and Billy Crawley from EDG. They also do, I think, Facebook Lives with people. I think they've done 2 or 3 so far. And then there's the Chase Show. Okay. So, they're already, so if you've seen those already and you've heard those questions and you have a question that wasn't answered, or you think there's a question that you want us to, ask them, and that it'll be received because we're super cool and super chill, eh? You think that we'll actually get through? Yeah, post your questions down below, and then we'll do our part and
work really hard in trying to get them on the show.
Yeah. So that'd be fun. Anyways, so that's it, right?
Yeah.
For this topic, we're gonna end it here. Have a good and safe rest of your week.
Yeah.
Everyone has their points of view and they have their alliances of who they're gonna vote for, but nothing is gonna happen if you don't register to vote. Have your voice be heard, have your vote be counted. Very important. Get your blue card.
Yep.
All right. And the blue card can also get you one step closer to a home site lease. Or to a job. Or to a promotion. There's many things that card's good for. So, even like applying for scholarships, huh?
Yeah.
Like if you have proof of voter registration, it also proves like, it's going to show people that you're active in your community. So it kind of gives you a leg up.
No, you actually need it. So the reason to be a registered voter for your chapter, other than to vote in your chapter, is you can get jobs at the chapter house. Mm-hmm. It helps with your home site lease. You can apply for different funding, which also includes scholarships. If you are over I think if you just turn 18, they give you a couple of months to register, but after that you have to be registered in order to receive scholarships. So register to vote.
Yep. For multiple reasons. Yay. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.